Okay, so this is how I typically brainstorm to get an intro paragraph. Um, Normally, if I'm teaching this, I'm in front of a huge chalkboard or dry erase board. If I'm writing at home or in the office, I usually grab some paper. It doesn't matter if it's written on back or front, it really doesn't matter. And the first thing I do is I do a lot of webbing, which means I do some, I just kind of write words all over the paper. So the first thing I would do in this case, and you already know my favorite person is my mom, but this is the first step of the writing process, and I would just write the word mom down. And then after that, I would just write anything that has any ideas or words or phrases that come to mind when I think of the word of my mom. And so one of them is I love her smile, and she's a great cook, and she was religious and spiritual, and she loved chocolate. Josie, I love chocolate, but I can't spell it right. And something else about my mom, I loved her. She's my favorite. Now my brain's starting to go a little bit differently, and now I'm starting to think of other things that I love other than my mom. I love the snow, and I love it when it's snowing, and I love fireplaces when there's really cruddy in cruddy weather. And I love my children, and I love my siblings, and I love the theater. And so now all these words are just going to start piling up together. Let's make sure that we can all see what I'm doing. Okay, so I love siblings, I love theater, I love my dog, I love speaking a foreign language, and I love running, and now things are going to just start things are going to start getting really messy. I'm just going to start writing words that I love teaching, and I love Taylor, who's my granddaughter and daughter, and then I love Nathan because he's my grandson, and I'm spelling his name wrong, and it doesn't really matter because I'm doing all of these things. I love the fog, and I love the rain, and I love the wind even when it blows fences down, and I love the world, and I love God, and I think of God now, and I'm going back to my mom because my mom was spiritual. She still is, even though she's in heaven, and she's in heaven, I know she is, and she's an angel, and I know she is, and she visits me a lot, and so, and I like visitors. And then when I think of visitors, I think of people knocking on doors. And I know things are not being spelled right because what I'm doing now is I am just writing words and phrases that just come to my mind. And I know when I look back that this really means my granddaughter, Taylor. I know that. I'm not really sure what this means. I know that means Nathan. I know that means rain, and I like wind with fences, and I love the world and God, and God's spiritual, and I know, and I love heaven and angels and visits, and I like visitors knocking at my door. So even though at this stage it's a mess and you really can't, it's everything's spelled incorrectly, which you can tell with all these little red lines underneath, what I'm really doing is I am trying to create ideas for my intro paragraph for my favorite person intro paragraph by brainstorming. That's what this is. And so now some of you may be looking at the screen right now and thinking, oh my gosh, I can't, all these misspelled words are just driving me insane. And that's fine. But this is what I do. I kind of start like this, and I end up like just writing words all over the board or all over the paper that come to mind when I think of my mom, and she's the main idea of my paper. And now when I look back at this, I think which one of these words or ideas could I use in my intro paragraph? These are things that I love or people who I love. What one, two, or three, or maybe just even one of these do I love so much that I could actually tie it in with loving my mom? And so there's lots of different ways I could go with it. We know how I went with it when you when you review the example I gave you. I started talking about the weather, and one reason I went that route is because when I originally wrote this, it was snowing outside, and my electricity was gone. It was that horrible winter 3 or 4 or 5 years ago when sugar pine was stuck in the dark for 7 or 9 days. So anyway, I was writing this, and but I do love the snow, and I love it when it's snowing. And I had a gas fireplace, so it didn't matter that I didn't have electricity. So and of course, I always bring chocolate into everything that I write about. So that's why I kind of went with the weather when I decided to pick which ones of these things do I love so much that I could tie them into loving my mom. And so, no, my paper's not about chocolate or snow or children. Oh, here's the theater. The theater's always on my mind, even when there's no electricity. So I think I did put that in my intro as well. So that's how I brainstorm to get ideas about how to introduce my main idea, which in this case is my mom. And my main idea is that I love my mom. She's my favorite person because I love her, because I know that she's there. And so these are the words or phrases that I could have chosen from, and we know what I did choose. So in the same way, I challenge you to get out a piece of paper or a pen, or if you don't want to, if you have someone you can do this with, ask the person to ask you questions. Like if you're writing about your grandmother, what did you like about your grandmother? Give me 5 words, and then just shoot them out really fast and have this person either tape record them or write them down. And spelling doesn't matter at this stage of the game. What you want to do is get a cute little intro that's going to get you to your thesis statement, which is blah is my favorite blah. I hope this helps. And I look forward to reading what you have to write. Take care.